So this is a quick update about the audiogridder application along with crossgridder, getting your Windows VSTs to work on a Mac locally. So these are the plugins I was able to get installed. So we have them all organized nicely here. As you can see, there's quite a few. And a lot of these were made with a program called Flowstone, which was apparently something to develop robotics. However, they've discontinued doing that, but the plugins are still available. So I got all these to get installed. And what the trick was, first of all, it is a bit of a tedious process because the application has a lot of trouble scanning them. Now, I didn't go through any additional steps in terms of installing additional software for Windows, or in terms of the Windows simulation that's running on the machine, which is through crossover. So maybe some of that could have been alleviated if I had done that, but I just wanted to see what was going on with these things before I keep putting so much time into this. And there's quite a bit to discover with this. There's still quite a bit going on. So what I did find out, though, the shortcut for others maybe, is that installing only the 64-bit versions was the way to go, because what would happen is the 32-bit versions seem to lock up the scanning process, and then they also don't work because I don't have the JBridge installed. And so I'm not sure I really want to go that route. I don't know if it's worth it to go that direction in terms of if it's worth developing in a 64-bit, it's probably worthy of me using it versus trying to dig up every little thing that could be 32-bit and potentially useful. There's just so many synths out there because people love creating these things, and I love using them. So, but I have to distill what I can spend my time on. Otherwise, I would go through synths like forever. So, anyways, these are the 64-bit versions I was able to acquire. So what it is anything that had 64 and 32-bit versions, I just got rid of the 32-bit. I have a VST folder that only has the del file, the .dll file in the folder, which is inside the crossover applications bottles. So it's like a virtual C drive, and you go. And so, anyways, the only thing that's in there is that VST, so it doesn't interfere with any of the scanning processes of any of these systems. It could be Logic, it could be audiogridder, it could be crossgridder. So trying to keep the folder as optimized as possible. So I have been able to use these, and I've been able to open these, and I've also actually already put one in a track. I mean, how could you not want something that models a didgeridoo? And that's the kind of cool stuff that I found here that I did not find, that I have not seen elsewhere. Now, I'm not really a heavy, let's say, researcher of synthesizers because what happened is there's so many now, and there's so many that's like, I kind of wait to see what happens with the overarching sounds, and I kind of try to develop things resourcefully so that I might sound similar to certain things. But it is still very awesome when you come across very unique things, and that's kind of the whole point of this whole music creation thing, is to discover things you never thought would be useful. So not only is this a model of a didgeridoo, but of course it's not an actual didgeridoo, so it's a synthesizer thing. And so that what that means is all kinds of cool new things can occur besides what the original didgeridoos could do. So that's what I'm all about, and I love it. And I really appreciate the guys at MIT taking the time to create this for whatever reason. The software, it's very intuitive, and so it's very resource intensive at the moment, and that's probably because some of the plugins require OpenGL or other graphics oriented instructions, and so I haven't actually gone through the trouble to do that. That's something I'm working on, but I did want to illustrate that this does actually work, so that's pretty remarkable. Very cool. I guess I could play a second of this since this is already a super long video. Just to give an example, this is through my computer speakers. I can find the notes here. So you hear that sound is kind of alive, and we can change the lip, and we can change the tongue, size of the mouth. It almost sounds like throat singing a little bit. So there's a lot of cute things that you can do with this. does come with presets. We could see what's going on with another one. Anyways, cool stuff, and yeah, this is exactly why I wanted to get these plugins. So nice.